Hi guys, welcome to Dad Tech. Today we are looking at something that might just be beating the DJI Mic 2, 3, all of the above with its price and quality and for what you get for your price. So without any further ado, let's talk about the Saramonic Air wireless microphone system. It is fantastic quality all around. I've used the DJI Mic 2 a lot. It was my primary mic system for a long time, primary lav system for a long time. I've edited a lot of footage with the DJI Mic 2, and I'll be honest, I have a new favorite. I have a new go-to for my wireless lav situation, even to the point that I shot a tutorial for my wife, which was a 3-camera setup, which is basically 6 or 7 hours of footage. I was confident and happy and more good words about this specific mic system that I used it primarily for that. Not primarily, like the only mic I used, and I trusted it the whole time. So let's get into it. Let's deep dive into this and figure out between the two why one may be better than the other and why I'm actually picking one over the other. I could do a whole video on the DJI Mic 2 of how frustrating it's been. Now, is it a fantastic mic system? Yes. Do I love the internal recording? Yes. The 32-bit float is very reassuring, and how it interfaces with your camera. But I've actually recorded many videos where I've just bad-mouthed the DJI Mic 2 for some really big frustrations I've had with it. And I never released them. I never put them out there. And this is not that video. This is not going to be a trashing of the DJI Mic 2. One big thing was I was getting a lot of interference going directly into my mic with one of these interfaces that goes straight in. And I was getting a lot of interference. And for over a year, I've had shots ruined. I've had my talent have interference with the mic and have to mess around with the mic a bunch. All in all, I found out that it was a bad lavalier mic. That was an official DJI mic lavalier. They're not cheap. They're about $30. I think I even had 4 of them because I had 4 mics. I had actually 2 bad mics, but I kept using the same one over and over again. I kept getting interference. So I left a very bad taste in my mouth. This is what this comes with. I bought the lavalier mic separate, and it is great value, but I had some frustrations. Once I figured that out, great. I've just lost a lot of confidence in the system from shoots, YouTube videos being ruined because of bad audio. In steps the Saramonic Air. So for starters, you get this very premium and satisfying to open case. It's very small, but the lavalier or the wind muffs also fit inside of here, which the DJI mic cannot boast. I can just highly recommend this to anyone who wants to get into the either lav mic system, because they come with this, 2 of them. You didn't have to buy them separate, unlike the competition. You have everything you need. You have everything to go into an olden iPhone with the lightning connector. You have a USB connector on there to go directly into a phone. You have, as an extra cost, and I would highly recommend it, the aforementioned adapter that goes directly into your hot shoe and interfaces with the Saramonic Air. And that just makes it simple. It means there's no cables. I've always enjoyed that when it comes to the DJI side of things. And I'm glad that for an extra couple of dollars, highly, highly recommend. So please just do yourself a favor and get that if you have a Sony. I'm not sure if it works for other cameras. Let's double check on that one. But certainly for a Sony with a hot shoe, use it. You have your little receiver that sits on the top of your camera and 2 wireless mics that have clips and magnets on them, and a proprietary lavalier mic, which I have, and I'll share in a moment. But that is, I like that. Instead of just the usual audio connector that goes in, proprietary, I'm fine with, just because if it sticks, it sticks. If it works, it works. If you know it's 100% good, great. Little magnets, strong magnets at that, and little detachable windscreen wind muffs. A little clip that allow you to clip this to something, obviously the receiver, in fact, or goes into a cold shoe or a hot shoe with a clip. It's the right size. Case with a little percentage indicator on there. Close up of that on the inside. Little adapters for lightning and USB-C. The only one thing, let's say, I could criticize it for is sometimes these rattle around. Not even sometimes. They rattle around. So they're not 100% secure in there. That's a nitpick, if anything. And it charges in there. You have one USB-C. So nice and easy to charge. Some of the things this doesn't have that the DJI Mic 2 system has, no internal recording. So I did take this on a hike with my wife, and just to test the range, an obligatory range test. When her back was to me, the signal cut. When she turned around, I got the signal, and sometimes it was a little bit in and out. For this context, I actually had these on when we were doing, like I said, a tutorial for my wife, and she was in a different room, and I had the headphones in monitoring it, and I could still hear her. So in a house, perfectly fine, clear line of sight, in a mountain, but with her back to me, it did cut out. So just take that into consideration. When I see these obligatory, and I call them obligatory because people like to just do the range tests, like, hey, let's see how far we can go, and they don't ever end up testing it to the max. They just get to a decent distance away. But it's obviously testing the signal strength, but in reality, you're probably never ever getting however many meters or feet away from your camera. It's just not really a thing. Now, I did that because why not? All right, so here's our microphone test. I have my beautiful assistant here. We have the Saramonic Air microphone and the DJI mic. The Saramonic is going to go directly into the camera. The DJI is just going to be on her lapel. So I'm going to mic her up, and she's going to go for a little walk up there. I'm going to be monitoring, capturing some footage, and also flying the drone all at the same time. So we will see when it cuts out, and she'll say something poetic or something wise. So let's get her mic'd up and send them on their way.
What am I supposed to say that's poetic? You guys gotta listen to me, okay? Okay. All right, and we'll have it all recorded on camera, the listening or non-listening, and I will send that off to Santa Claus as well. That's what this is for. Really, really pretty. It's so nice. I'm confused because these should be getting a drone. Oh, look at the cool. The city looks so beautiful. We're gonna put on Jingle Bell Rock and listen to that. Can you hear me talking to the mic?
Yeah, it's cutting out a little bit, so maybe it's come a little bit closer.
Huh? Whoa.
All right, so as you can see, the Saramonics, as soon as my wife's back was turned, started to cut out, and I really had to try and balance when I could see her and when I couldn't. And I'm joined by some munchkins here. So obviously with the DJI, it's internal recording, so I know I'm going to get that back to the computer, and it's just going to be there. Whereas I know with this one, it's going to have cut out and cut in, and it's going directly into the video feed. So I'll find out pretty quickly that where it didn't work. So that is our little test. Let's go back to the studio, and we'll talk more. In reality, I'm using it in this context in a studio where it's on my lapel, or it's attached to a talent, or it's not far from the camera. So obviously the signal strength test is really just to say, if you're like have a lot of interference in an environment, you've got a strong signal, but the distance thing is just a thing. No internal recording. That's my whole tangent there. And that point was there's no internal recording. So whatever the receiver is getting and whatever the transmitter is getting and receiving into the receiver, into the camera is what's going baked into your file. Nothing that you can go later and pull this off. So if you lose your signal, you lose it. But I always, because of my problems with the DJI system, I got into the habit of just monitoring my audio 99% of the time. Like I have headphones going directly into the camera or into the receiver, and I'm always monitoring. So whenever I can, if I'm moving around, I'll just unplug the headphones, do my thing, but come back and I'll put them right back in. I'm just monitoring the audio. Now, what I'll say, again, I shot hours of footage for my wife's tutorial, didn't have any issues, no cutouts, no nothing. So that's out of habit right now. But my tests with this thing prior to doing the tutorial really give me the confidence to say, okay, I'm happy to use this. I am going to monitor it, but I'm not going to obsess over it. At times, I've been obsessed with the audio and making sure I wasn't getting interference. And a lot of times I was getting the interference, and my monitoring was relevant. My monitoring was actually required. Otherwise, I would have had bad audio for an interview or a podcast or something. Things I've shot with this. So that is critical. So bonuses, what else do you get? The box, Saramonic Air, adapter, sold separately, but highly recommended, and it's pretty cheap. A bag, a editor mark here. This is the bag. Don't know where the other one came from, don't know why, but I came across this one and realized I made a mistake in the video. So don't you guys thinking that I included the wrong one. This is the exact one. So back to Passmark. wire. If you want to go directly into the camera, you can. My second lav mic is somewhere, and I've been using it, so that's why it's not in here. And that's why this one is brand new. The little clip is detachable, and it rotates. Detachable, and it rotates, and it's a clip. So all that means is you've got the mic attached to the clip, and then you can get your placement quite right because of the twisty. I really, really like that. And then the proprietary end. There you go. And now you have a lav mic. So for a all-in-all package, can't recommend it enough. Let's do a little audio test right now. I'm going to do straight out the box, no wind muff, just straight into my mouth, the DJI Mic 2. So that's the raw audio coming out of this one. So this is going to go directly in the back of my camera, along with the receiver. So it's already turning on. You have a couple of buttons on there to figure out what you need. And that's how it goes. Now, what I would say about this is this adapter is clearly designed to be compatible with other receivers. So it's not like a fantastic great fit right there. That's kind of the view you get. It can tilt all the way down. But it's got like some little lips here, which are clearly designed for a different type of system, or different. I think it's their more professional one, their higher end one, which I would love to try because I'm so impressed with this. With that in mind, that's something I want to tell you. Bye. Okay, it's in the back of the mic. So this is how the Saramonic Air sounds in hand, in the middle of my chest, which is where I normally put it on somebody. On a collar, I even look at it in the thing there, and I mean, apart from the wind muff, you wouldn't really know. Let's take it without the wind muff, just as a fair contest. So that's without the wind muff, and testing, mic check. And let's unravel this brand new mic transmitter in pocket. And then we have a little lav mic. So I'm not going to, whatever. Straight up. And there you go. That is how the lav mic sounds on my collar. And that's without the wind muff on there. It's nice. It has the mic on one side and blank on the other. So you can put that blank part kind of next to something, skin, fabric, whatever, knowing that you're not going to get the little fabricy, rubby noise as things move around. But obviously very discreet, even with the little wind muff on. Clearly I have a dark shirt on, but that's how it's sounding coming directly out on my chest. And you can barely see it. I'm looking at the camera right now. You can barely see it. But that's a lav mic for you, right? Now, who's this for? If you want to save some money and not go for either the new DJI Mic 3, which does not have a lavalier system, period. I may have considered that if they had a lav connector in there. They do not. I need one. Hence Saramonic saving the day with this one. Or going for the DJI Mic 2 system. Save some money. This is my personal opinion. If I could go over again and get the time back I had messing around with the DJI, trying to figure it out, trying to get the interference out of my videos, and as I'm interviewing people, trying to figure out what the heck is making this static noise, and could have saved all that time and gone with the Saramonic Air, I 100% would have. Like, hands down, if this had been out a couple of years ago, I would have saved some money, would have got a very capable system, all the accessories you need all in one, bar the adapter, which is $30. And all I would say at this point is highly recommend. And just to finalize, clearly I would highly recommend this. I'm actually very excited to see what else Saramonic does, because they do a lot of the wireless mic stuff, and they actually also have a pro version. I don't know the exact model name, but that is very, very intriguing because they've done such a good job with this at this price point. What the heck are they doing when you spend a little bit more money to get their higher end systems? Like, there's got to be something there because they've done such a good job with this. So that's really it. That's my comments. That's my feedback. But I've been Dad Tech. If that helps, great. If you have any questions, let me know. Be more than happy to answer them. Saramonic, thank you so much for sending this over to me. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Watch this video about the DJI Mic 2s. Watch this video about whatever YouTube recommends to you to watch, but it's going to be on this one. But I've been Dad Tech. My name's Mark. Hope you guys have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe. All that good YouTube stuff. Bye.